Moving on to step number 21, mastering the 4 P.A.S.E energies in Casanovas Chameleon, a new perspective on social skills. This lesson focuses primarily on the main idea in this book right here, called Social by Matt Lieberman. And there's a quote in that book that says, "The majority of your life, the majority of your day, the waking thoughts that you have will be directed towards something social." And since we're social animals, mastering persuasion and social skills is the key to you having a great life. And, you know, certainly people are different. Only you have your thumbprint, but we can also group people together. And to help facilitate that, Ty created something called the P.A.S.E system, which is a way of profiling people's 4 energy types. Each of us is a different order of these and a mixture of these, but we're predominantly one of these 4 types, and we're least strong in one of them also. So I'm going to go through and define what each of the 4 letters represents, and then explain which order I think I am, and then you can use that to figure out which order you are, and then also use it to help you in business and life by kind of speaking other people's languages when you can identify what order they are. But the P stands for practical people. These are characterized by people that are often not very flexible. They tend to make a plan and stick with it, often kind of conservative. They like numbers. Often the professions are accountants, mechanics. These people don't really like spontaneity. They'll say things like, "Let's meet Tuesday at 11 a.m. So they don't mean 11:10 or 10:42. They're slow to adapt, and the good news is they tend to start things that they finish. The second type is action people. Those are people who love starting new things. They're kind of driven by adrenaline. They're oftentimes ADD or attention deficit disorder. You know, they're quick to start things, but not so good at finishing things. And they'll say things like, "Come on, let's do this. Think of how exciting this is going to be." This is oftentimes entrepreneurs and maybe sports people that are heavily into the excitement and action of sports. The third type is social. These are people that by definition like to socialize just for the sake of socializing. Unfortunately, they can tend to be kind of flaky and not stand up for themselves. You know, they're jolly. They tend to be really good at running parties, maybe running nightclubs, something where it requires you specifically to be strong in your ability to socialize with people just for the sake of being around people they enjoy. And the last type is emotional, E people. And emotional doesn't mean that someone cries at every movie. It doesn't mean that. It means that they oftentimes tend to hold in their feelings. They're easily offended. They're good at reading people, which makes them very intuitive, but they're oftentimes also driven by fear. And the downside of these people is that they often don't have very thick skin. They're easily offended, and although there are some good qualities to these people, they tend to run or be part of charities. They tend to do volunteer work. They want to save the world. And I would say that I'm an SAEP, social, action, emotional, practical. So the question is, what order are you in? Which of these most resonates with you? And which of these least resonates with you? Because these are not good or bad. It takes all 4 types to make the world happen. You know, I'm so glad that my accountant is a practical person. He's not very humorous. He's kind of dry. And thank goodness, because, you know, you want your accountant to be a by the numbers person by definition. When I go hang out with my skydiving friends, they tend, obviously by definition, they tend to be action type of people. And this is important to know which of these you predominantly are and which of them you're not, because it's important to build upon your strengths, like I've learned numerous times through Peter Drucker, but it's necessary for all of these 4 areas to be at least a 7. out of 10. Otherwise, your weak area will bring you down. So we're going to go through some practical suggestions on what you can do for each of those areas to bring them up. And remember too that it's P.A.S.E. The outsides usually go together, the practical and emotional people, and the insides usually go together or are highly compatible. The A's and the S's tend to go together. And remember that this is a superpower, this profiling system, the P.A.S.E. system. So it's important to use this for good and not for evil. You know, you want to persuade people to do things that are in their best interest. Subscribe to your newsletter, go to your website, book your services, buy your product, etc. And so let's say you're doing a business deal with a P person. You can't really be pushy. They're going to want to know the numbers. They're going to be very methodical. They're going to be very strategic. And if you're dealing with an A person, you want to close the deal right away, have high energy, explain to them how this is going to be so exciting. S people, you want to be friendly, be full of smiles, be lighthearted, keep them focused. Don't necessarily be looking at your watch because they're going to enjoy just the socializing part of the relationship. And E people, you want to be, if you're dealing with an E person, you want to open up, connect them with a story, show them how something's going to make them feel, show them how they're going to be part of something bigger than themselves. And you know, you figure out what people are, which of these four energies people predominantly are, by active listening, because a lot of times people will use the exact matching keywords. You know, I was speaking to one of my friends last year, and he said, you know, when it comes down to it, I'm just a real practical guy. And I've noticed one of my other friends is the emotional type. I've seen her cry at work numerous times, so I know I need to approach these two people differently. You know, when I'm talking to my practical friend, I really want to show him numbers when I can, show him some statistical data that backs up what I'm trying to get him to do. With my emotional person, I have to kind of more walk on eggshells, unfortunately, and talk about my feelings with them and whatnot. But so to get to the question of this, just so I'm not rambling, the question at the end of this lesson is, what is your P.A.S.E. order? Which one most and least resonates with you? And then the second part is, for the next 4 days, focus on bringing one of these out. Bring up your weaknesses. Take care.